Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, a while back, and it may have only been a week or two ago, I talked about bed fishing and how I've never liked that. I guess this week is me telling you about different types of fishing I don't like, but I don't like bed fishing because I think I think it's a risk to the very resource that is kind of making us famous up here. But I noticed that with some of the major companies, Guggen Squad it's a company that actually makes some great bass tackle, and they sponsor some of the major elite fishermen. And I noticed they have a whole new poster out that is sort of championing their position on bed fishing, that they are the champions of this, that this is, and I'm thinking, geez, it's looked on so differently in other parts of the country. It actually made me not want to buy their tackle. Isn't that crazy? I'm sort of being small-minded here because, again, I feel that it's the wrong way to go. Now, since most states don't have any restrictions on it, they have their bass fishing season open when the bass are spawning, and that is probably one of the most deadly ways to fish because, number one, these beds are usually going to be in shallow areas, not too far from the shoreline. They're going to be back in waters that aren't as highly currentized as, say, we have here in the St. Lawrence River. And so the fish are easy to see. They're easy to spot. And they become really easy to target because they're going to protect that bed. They're not going to. They're putting the interests of their progeny, of their future family, far above their own self-survival. They don't think of anything else. So anything that comes on that bed, they're going to go with their mouth, pick it off, remove it, and then come back as quick as they can to get on the bed. And so if we're a fisherman and we put just about anything foreign on that bed, any kind of fishing lure, and we do it so it looks like it's a threat to their bed, they're gonna pick it up and move it. And this could happen. You could actually put your lure on that bed, the fish hit it, you bring them up, you catch them, and if the gobies or if the other bluegills and other fish don't move in and eat the eggs, they're going to be back on that bed, and 10 minutes later, you can put that same lure back down there, and they're going to pick it up again and risk being caught because they're not thinking of the risk. So, again, something to think about, but it's also something to be aware of that, in the fishing world today, these fish have so much less chance of winning that battle against us. It's not a question about wits. It's not a question, because when you think of these pro anglers, and in particular, because money seems to be no object because they're investing money to make money. So these anglers have the very latest and best technology on their boats. So they not only can find the fish, but they can see the fish. And not only can they see the fish, but they can watch them hit their bait. I mean, for heaven's sakes, these poor fish, you think about it. And second of all, these pro anglers, this is all they do. They eat, sleep, drink, fishing. That's their whole life. I mean, they're on the go every single day doing this. There's a reason that they're the best that there is, because this is all they do. If you and I were to spend every moment of our life doing any one thing, no matter who we are, we're going to get very good at it. We're going to get better and better and better. So, again, I'm trying to pass on some thoughts about what fishing has become. You might think, holy cow, listen to him talking about these pros and how the fish don't have a chance. And yet he's the one that's bringing the pros here. And I am. I'm aware of this all the time. I'm aware that with any great thing, there's always risks. And what is the great thing here? The great thing is establishing our area as a potentially very thriving economic area again because of the influx of people coming here to experience what we've had for a long, long time. It's just one of the nature's bounties that happens to be in our area. But boy, there's always going to be risks. And if we just do it blindly, if we just keep saying, yeah, come on down, come on down. No, we have to do everything in our power to be aware that we need to protect these fish. I want you to think of one other thing. An angler catches a 5-pound bass, and you can think, okay, there's another 5-pound bass just waiting in the wings to come in there and be part of this whole resource. No, there isn't. It took years and years and years for that 5-pound bass to get to be 5 pounds, to get to be that size. It's got to have some pretty good genetics. It's got to be one of the rulers of the pack. And when you take those away and you risk hurting them, you risk killing them, because the bigger and the older any species is, a lot of times they're much more prone to be affected by stress and by disease and so forth. So a couple of things I've talked about this week. One is bed fishing, and the other one is fishing around docks. That isn't as harmful. That's not going to hurt the species as much. But we should be aware of these different ways that today people can catch fish that years ago they really didn't do. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.